The New York Jets have re-signed one of their running backs from last year, basically confirming what the running back room is going to be looking like in 2025 under Aaron Glenn. And we got to break this down. So what's up, guys? I'm Matt Long. Welcome to Jets Digest. Before we hop into the video for today, only 25.7% of viewers are subscribed to the channel. So if you are not subscribed, please take a second, hit the subscribe button. It really helps me out a ton. Me and Chris are going to be making videos about every single signing, re-signing, and move that the New York Jets are making this offseason. So please come on along with us and help us out a little bit as well. So the news for today, according to Jeremy Fowler per ESPN, running back Kene Nwangu is heading back to the New York Jets on a one-year deal for up to $2.5 million per his sources. Now, Kene Nwangu is a running back who was signed right before the season started by the New York Jets, but didn't see a whole lot of action on offense. This is a player who is going to be making his hay for the New York Jets on special teams as a return man. This picture, you may remember his touchdown kickoff return versus the Seattle Seahawks in the middle of the season. A very exciting play in a game that the New York Jets really should have won. But that's kind of the story of how Jets games go. But why is this guy important? So he is 6'1", 214 pounds, which you might think that's pretty big and heavy for a return guy. And if you're looking historically at return men in the NFL, you'd be completely right. But we got to remember one thing. The NFL has recently changed to the new dynamic kickoff where we're seeing the guys, the kickoff special teams do not get a running start anymore. They are standing still. And it has been described as more like a run play instead of a traditional kickoff. So in response to this, teams are using instead of return guys, those skinny small guys, they're changing into running backs because they're making it like a running play. They're changing the way they're blocking. They're changing the schemes on these kickoffs to make it mirror a run play more. And what does every good run play need is a good running back. Kene Nwangu is going to be stepping into that role. So we just saw it last season. The only time that he got an opportunity making a kickoff return, he made it into the end zone. Love to see it. Also, Aaron Glenn comes from the Detroit Lions, where we know they like to be, let's just say, on the cutting edge of what you can do with your offensive personnel. They like to find roles for guys that other people wouldn't really consider, like, when you have Dan Skipper in the end zone, the offensive tackle, catching passes. That's why we can expect guys to be playing out of position like this, like a running back returning kickoffs. But talking about how this guy is going to be impacting the running back room, honestly, he's going to be more of a special teams guy. I don't see him impacting who we have at running back because if you're a Jets fan, you know we got one of the better running back rooms in the NFL, of course, with Breece Hall headlining it and then two very, very promising backup second-year guys in Braylon Allen and then Isaiah Davis. So starting with, let's just, he's on the screen. Let's start with Braylon Allen, the backup behind Breece Hall. He is going to be obviously our primary backup for Breece Hall. He is not going to be scared of his job because of this signing. Braylon Allen, over 200 pounds, or almost 240 pounds actually. He is purely going to be a running back. He's not going to be seeing kickoff returns. And he is someone that we've seen if Breece Hall ever gets injured, Braylon Allen can take over. I'm someone who believes that the running back is less important and the offensive line is important. For your running back, you just need a guy who's athletic and heavy. When you're heavier as a running back, that leads to getting injured less because obviously almost every single carry you take as a running back is going to end with you getting tackled. As a wide receiver, you can have plenty of times where you're going to be able to get out of bounds or get down before taking a big hit, but running backs are running right in between the tackles every time, getting hit by linebackers, getting hit by DNs, so they're going to be getting injured at a high rate. That's why we got to make sure our running backs are really, really heavy and make sure that our running backs are going to be, we got a bunch of them, so in case some guys get hurt, we're going to be okay. Obviously, then we got our third running back, Isaiah Davis. Isaiah Davis, when he played pretty well. The one thing I don't like about him is his weight. Only 181 pounds. That is not the number we're looking for. You want to get your running backs up over 200 pounds. That's kind of the sweet spot of where you want to be. Of course, when you're a taller running back, the threshold isn't quite 200 pounds. You want to be a little bit higher. What you're looking for is a BMI of 30, which is considered obese in the normal world. But in the NFL running back world, that's exactly where you want to be. In terms of long-term high-end production, that's what you're looking at for your running back. So Isaiah Davis, another guy that if there are injuries, if Breece Hall's a little bit banged up, if Braylon Allen's a little bit banged up, we're going to have a third guy who's also talented, can come in, take some snaps, make some effective runs, and make some plays. Now, if Braylon Allen and Breece Hall are out for an entire game, is Isaiah Davis going to be able to come in and be a bell cow for a game? I don't think so because of that weight, but I've been proven wrong in the past. Maybe he can prove me wrong. Of course, I know everyone, when you're talking about running backs and the New York Jets, you cannot leave out Breece Hall's contract. That's up for discussion pretty soon here. He, in 2022, signing a 4-year contract, rookie contract with the New York Jets after being drafted in the second round out of Iowa State. Fun fact, the same college that Kene Nwangu came out of. Nwangwu playing 1 year before Breece Hall was drafted as an Iowa State Cyclone. Also, Alan Lazard there as well. A little fun fact for you there. So Breece Hall is going to be signing a contract soon, either with the Jets or he's going to be playing this year and then going finding somewhere else. But I do think Aaron Glenn and Darren Mougey are purposely not signing very high-end guys in free agency to hold cap space open for our homegrown talent and the guys that we want to sign. That Sauce Gardner extension, that Garrett Wilson extension, and then maybe that Breece Hall extension. Breece Hall is the guy, also Jermaine Johnson, but Breece Hall is the guy that fans are on the fence because you have one camp saying you need talented players to win. We just watched the Philadelphia Eagles win with Saquon Barkley, paid him a ton of money. He's an elite running back, and he was a great piece for their Super Bowl win. And then you also have guys of the side that I've been on in the past, which has been don't pay running backs. Anyone can play the position. It's easy to find them on day 3 of the draft. Just go draft someone. So those are the two sides when it comes to paying Breece Hall. Where I am now, I do think with the emergence of the too high safety defense, I do think running back value is back up on the rise in the NFL. Now, I don't expect to see a bell cow running back for the New York Jets as the league is shifting more towards committee backfields, which is 2 or 3 running backs, all with their designated roles and getting a bunch of run. And there's not really one wide receiver, running back one for that team. I would expect Breece Hall. I do think we should be re-signing Breece Hall because you look at the top running backs in the league. It's guys who can run the ball effectively and be weapons in the passing game. Your Saquon Barkley, your Christian McCaffrey, your Jahmyr Gibbs. Those are the types of guys that I don't think you should be letting walk out your building. And I understand Breece Hall has had that ACL tear his rookie year, but we watched him bounce back as a sophomore, that sophomore season, putting up a tremendous season as a running back. So I've actually kind of switched sides on Breece Hall because with that too high safety defenses are taking away the deep ball and you got to throw stuff underneath. So that's why you see successful teams like the Detroit Lions and the Kansas City Chiefs. They're throwing to Amon-Ra St. Brown and Rashee Rice and just letting them run after the catch. They're just throwing little screens. We've seen this play come along. It's called a tunnel screen. It's one of my favorite plays in the NFL. It's when you see the ball get thrown to the outside to a wide receiver, but there are already offensive linemen already down the field ready to block for that wide receiver. That's one of my favorite plays because I love it because it's a safe throw. It's obviously an easy catch for the receiver to make, and it's still a screen pass, so you got guys out in front of the wide receiver ready to block for him. So I do think Breece Hall is a weapon because, like I said, not only can he run the ball very effectively, he's someone who you have to defend in the pass game. I mean, reminiscing a little bit, his highlights from his first 2 years with the Jets, absolutely sensational. I want to get back to where we're watching Breece Hall run all the way down the field, all the way into the end zone, but we got to build out this offensive line. That's why I really think we should be going out and investing in a long-term answer at right tackle when we get the opportunity in the NFL draft. Hopefully after a trade down, but we're going to go ahead and see what Aaron Glenn and Darren Mougey decide to do. One more last little thing. Also a stacked running back draft class, but with this signing, with the running backs that are in the house already for the New York Jets, I would believe it is highly unlikely that they will be going out and selecting a running back. Maybe round 6 or 7, a guy falls to the New York Jets that they really like, that they had graded as a 4th round pick. In that situation, they would be willing to go take a shot on a running back. But I do think it's much more likely for the New York Jets to take shots at interior defensive line, maybe another depth linebacker or some depth at the defensive backs positions on day 3 of the draft. Not going to be running backs, although if we do decide to take a chance on a running back, there are a lot of guys who, even on day 7, could find the next Isaiah Pacheco type running back who could impact the New York Jets rotation and even, steal one of these guys' jobs. But that's what I got for today. So if you guys enjoyed the video, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you want to stay up to date on every single signing that the New York Jets are going to make. And as always, go Jets.